Hi, good day everyone. So today we are going to be doing CSEC Maths Paper 1, Section 7, which is Relations, Functions, and Graphs, which is 2025. I'm saying till 2017, but if time permits, we'll go to 2017, but typically we try to stop at 2020. Alright, so the first one we are going to do is May-June 2025 Paper 1, and we are going to do numbers 45 to 52. Number 45 to 52 is our relations and functions section. So the first question says, number 45 says, the equation of the line that crosses the vertical axis at the point 0,5 and that has a gradient of 4. So they're telling me my gradient is 4, and if it intersects my vertical axis is also known as my y-axis. This means x is 0, y is 5. And wherever a line intersects my y-axis, it is known as my y-intercept. So C is equal to 5. We should know that y is equals to mx plus c, and we fill in the m and the c spots. So y is equals to 4x plus 5. So the answer for this one is C. Number 46, the point where the linear function crosses the vertical axis. Again, it is your y-axis. And as I said, where it intersects your y-axis is known as your y-intercept. Alright? Which of the following graphs represents a linear function? Right? A linear function has both x and y. Right? And it's a straight line. So this is not. This is definitely not. So A is your answer. Let's look at 48. 48 refers to the following graph of a function, the coordinates of the maximum point. Now, if we know anything about our maximum point, right? Now, hold on. Why can't I write on this? 1 second. You know what? I feel it is. Yeah. Our maximum point, or turning point, when A is negative, when A is positive, sorry, is your turning point here. So where does it turn? X is 2, y is 4. X is 2, y is 4, that's B. Right, so please know that your maximum point is also known as your turning point. Right, this one here, which of the following function is undefined? Now, undefined just means when a function is divided by 0. So if we look at the underneath here, divided by, if I put x is negative 2 here, negative 2 means 2 plus 2. That is not going to give you a 0. Then if you put negative 2 here, negative 2 is negative 4, not this. Negative 2 squared, 2 2s are 4, so 4 minus 2 is 2, so no. If you look at D, so D would be the answer. Or even, if you look at the denominator, you put x plus 2, x is negative 2 plus 2 is in fact 0, so you know that this will turn, when x is negative 2, you'll get 5 divided by 0. Whenever something is divided by 0, that is when a function is undefined. This one here, g of negative 1, right? This is a, what you call it? This is a, so this is a composite function. What do we do with a composite function? We separate the two functions. So we separate g and g. We always do the bracket first, right? So we want to find what is g of 1. That means whatever is in the bracket is what x is equal to. Yeah? So x is equals to 1. So that would be 1 squared plus 1, which is 1 plus 1 is 2. So this will now turn to, sorry, even if this is negative, sorry, this will turn to positive. Alright? It will be 2. So this will be g of, instead of g of minus 1, you know the answer is 2. So you want to know g of 2? That would be 2 squared plus 1, which is 4 plus 1, which is 5. So the answer here is 5, D. Right? 51. A parking lot charges $1 plus 0.25 for every hour. So for every hour is, we know for $1 is your constant, right? So you have to have 1. We are not multiplying $1 by h because that would be incorrect and this would be incorrect. So we have a positive 1. And then they said 0.25 for every hour. So if it's 2 hours, it would have been 0.25 multiplied by 2. If it's 3 hours, 0.25 multiplied by 3. So the only answer that makes sense here is B. You take that 0.25 multiplied by the number of hours you stayed in the parking lot, and then you add 1 to it, which is your fixed charge. So the answer is B. This one here, which of the following best describes the function? So we go from x to y. When x is 2, if we use this equation, let's use x plus 3. X plus 3, that's 2 plus 3 is 5. If I say 5 plus 3, I'm getting 8. 8 plus 3, I'm getting 11. 11 plus 3, I'm getting 14. So this y, to get my y value, I take my x values and add 3 to it, is the one that works for each and every one of them. Not just one, has to be all of them. So the answer is 52. And that would be the end of May, June 2025. Let's look at January 2025. Alright, this question, which of the following represents the equation of the following line graph? Now we know if it is less than, right, or even more than, the circle is not shaded. If it is more than or equal to or less than or equal to, because of that equal sign, we shade the circle. So this one has x is more than negative 2. So it will be a circle above negative 2. But it is less than or equal to 4. So this one has a non-shaded 4. That means they did not say equal to. So this is not the answer. The only answer that makes sense would be this one here, where they're telling you the answer x could be 4, but it is also less than, sorry, it could be less than 4. X is more than negative 2, but x is also less than or equal to 4. So this here, you will have a circle here because there's no equal to, and this here you will have a circle with a shade underneath it, and that's because of the equal sign. And that's how we know D would be our answer. Which of the following represents the equation of a straight line? Y is equals to mx plus c. Which one of them? B. Right? What is the gradient of the straight line? So again, y is equals to mx plus c. You have to make y the subject for this, and whatever is the coefficient of x, meaning what is the number or letter in front of x, is going to be your answer. So if I have 2y is equals to negative 3x minus 8, carry across 2 here, it will be y is equals to negative 3x minus 8 all divided by 2. Let's split it up. Y is equals to negative 3 over 2x minus 8 over 2. So y is negative 3 over 2x minus 4. What is the coefficient of x? Negative 3 over 2, which is D. Number 48. What is the turning point? The maximum point. Maximum or turning point is the same thing. If you look here, x is 2, y is 4. So 2, 4. According to the graph, the solution of the equation, right, y is equals to 4x minus x squared, and y is equals to 0. Now y is equals to 0 on your x-axis would be x is equal to 4 and x is also equal to 0. So when x is equals to 0, y is 0, and when x is equals to 4, y is also 0. Right? So the answer would be this one. The others don't make sense, don't even have a negative here, so out of play. When x is 2, y is 4, that's the turning point. When x is 0, that would be on your y-axis, y is 0, And when x is 2, y is definitely not 4. That again is your turning point here. So we know that the answer would be A. They told you h of x is equals to 4x squared minus 6. So h of minus a half would be 4 by minus a half squared minus 6. That is 4 by a half is a quarter. So 4 by a quarter minus 6 is 1 minus 6 is minus 5. So the answer is B. A line L is perpendicular to 2x minus y minus 8 is equals to 0. What is the gradient of the line? Right, so again we have to put this in the format y is equals to mx plus c. So 2x minus y minus 8 is equals to 0. Carry this across. That's 2x minus 8 is equals to y. Right, so if we look at this, my gradient for this one is 2. Now, if the line is perpendicular, what we know about perpendicular lines, the product of their gradients is negative 1. So the gradient of this line, 2x minus y minus 8 is 2, multiplied by the gradient of line L will be equal to negative 1. So this is 2 multiplied by what will give you negative 1. That is, this box is going to be negative 1 over 2. So the answer is B. Right, and that's how you would do that. 51, 52. Which of the following sets x squared plus 3 where x is 0, 1, 2, and 3? So when x is 0, you'll get 0. When x is 0, that is 0 plus 3, 0 cubed plus 0 squared plus 3, that would be 3. So when x is 0, y is equals to 3. When x is 1, y would be equal to 1 squared plus 3, that is 3, 4. That's y is equals to 4. So the next point is 1, 4. First point here is 0, 3. Next point here is 1, 4. Next point, when x is equal to 2, y is equals to 2 squared plus 3, that is 4, plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is y is equals to 7. So this point here will be 2, 7. Right? So I have 0, 3, 1, 4, 2, 7. We don't even have to do the last one because this is the only one that has that combination of 0, 3, 1, 4, and 2, 7. Right? The last one would be when x is 3, y will be equal to 12. Right? And that is the end of January 2025. Let's look at May, June 2024. Which of the following best describes a function? Right? A function would be always 1 to 1. Never many to 1. So you see this? Many to 1? No. No. This is many to 1? So no. So the only answer is this one here. Right? 46, 47 refers to the following graphs of the straight line AB. The point where it crosses, AB crosses the horizontal line. The horizontal line is your x-axis, right? And on your x-axis, y is equals to 0, and it crosses there at 3. Alright, so when x is 0, when y is 0, x is 3, so you'll get 3, 0, which is E. The equation of the straight line AB, so we need to find the gradient first. Gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You have two coordinates. When x is 3, y was 0, and when y was negative 2, x was 0, so 0, negative 2. So my gradient, this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So it'll be negative 2 minus 0 over 0 minus 3. That's negative 2 over negative 3, which is 2/3. So the gradient is 2/3. The only one where the gradient is 2/3 is C. Right? And also your y-intercept is negative 2. So that is why the answer is C. Y is equals to 2 over 3x minus 2. Let's look at this. Again, they gave you the same thing. Your turning point is x is 2, y is 4. So x is 2, y is 4 will be A. The equation of the axis of symmetry of the quadratic function is the equation of the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is where it intersects the parabola here into half, and that would be this. X is equal to 2. Right? This one here, we want to know G inverse of negative 2. So first off, to find G inverse, actually you could simply, anyway, no, let's not do that. G of x is equal to 7x minus 3 over 5. So y is 7x minus 3 over 5. Then you interchange x and y. So step 1, let y be equal to the function. Step 2, interchange x and y. Right? So it'll be x is equal to 3y minus 3 all over 5. And then step 3, make y the subject. So it will be 5x, because if you carry across that, it will turn to multiply. Right? And if we carry across minus 3, it turns to plus 3. Is equals to 3y. You carry this around, you'll get y is equals to 5x plus 3 over 3. Right? So that's G inverse of x is this 5x plus 3 over 3. So G inverse of negative 2 would be 5 by negative 2 is negative 10 plus 3 over 3. This would be negative 7 over 3. 3 could go into 7 2 times, remainder 1. Hold on, what did I?
Make a mistake, Misty. Put 3
7.
instead of 7.
Thank you. Supposed to be 7 here. Alright, so it'll be negative 7 over 7, which is negative 1. So the answer is B. Right? 7. That's negative 7. Yeah, that's correct. Right. So my mistake here was, let me just change this up. It is negative 10 plus 3 over 7 is negative 7 over 7, which is negative 1. That's the answer for this one, right? This one here is a repeated question, which is 1 is the fixed charge and 0.25 for every hour, so B is the answer. Right? X cubed, so they're telling you y is equals to x cubed, and they give me my x values. So when x is negative 2, y would be negative 2 cubed, which is equals to 2 by 2 is 4. 4 by 2 is 8, and it will be negative 8, because a negative and a negative is a positive, but positive and a negative is a negative. So it'll be negative 8. The only one that has negative 8 here is D. Right? You can try to do the rest and you will get the same answer, but I'm just saying, because we know for a fact that your first answer is negative 8, the only one with negative 8 would be D. And that is the end of May-June 2024. Let's look at January 2024. Which of the following represents the equation of a straight line? Y is equals to mx plus c, so it's 2x plus 3. A linear function crosses the vertical axis, which is also known as your y-axis, would be a y-intercept. The arrow diagram above describes the relation. If we look at x and y is less than x. Is y less than x? No. All the y is more than x. Is x a factor of y? Yeah. Factors of y? Oh, no. So factors of 8, yes. Factors of 8. If you look at factors of 8, it would be 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Factors of 9 is 1 and 9, 3 and 3. And factors of 10 would be 1 and 10, 2 and 5. Right? So 2 is found there, 3 is found there, and 4 is found with the 8. Yeah. Y is a factor. Y is a factor of x. No. Factor mean what could go into them, right? And x is a multiple of y. No, multiples is when you multiply a number, a specific when you multiply the values here by a specific number, you're going to get it. No. So therefore, the only answer would be B. What is a y-intercept of the straight line? This is a repeated question, right? It was negative 3 over 2. That's supposed to be 2 here. Negative 3 over 2, which would be C. Right? Because we said 2y is equal to negative 3x minus 8. Carry this across, so y is negative 3 over 2. X minus 8 over 2. So y is negative. So the gradient is negative 3 over 2. Right? 1 second. Alright, so the next question, number 49. H of x is 3x minus 2 over 5. H of 4, that's 3 4s are 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. 10 minus 5 is 2. So the answer is 10 divided by 5 is 2. What is the value of f inverse 1 if the function given is? So f inverse x would be y is equals to 5 minus 2x. X would be 5 minus 2y. Then that is x plus 2y is equals to 5. So that is y is 5 minus x divided by 2. Right? So then they want f of 1, that's 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so the answer is 2. Right? So that would be, oh yeah, that's correct. The values of x where the point 4x minus x intersects the x-axis. That would be 0 and 2, I believe. Although if you remember, it is a repeated question. If you remember, this is it, right? And watch where it intersects 0 and 4. So if you can remember that, you should be good with this question, or you could solve it, 0 and 4 is the answer. If the line L is perpendicular to this line, what is the gradient of the line? So we know perpendicular line gradients are -1. So the gradient of this line is 2 over 5 multiplied by some value will give you -1. It will be -5 over 2, which is A. Right, and that's the end of January 2024. Let's look at May, June 2023. Crosses the vertical axis, which is the y-axis. This will be a y-intercept. The equation of the line that crosses the vertical axis at y is, your y-intercept is 5 and your gradient is 4, is y is equals to 4x plus 5, that's C. This one here, linear function. This one here, the equation of, that is this line here, your axis of symmetry, y is equals to 2. This one here, the gradient of the line, the perpendicular lines. Again, perpendicular lines gradients are equal. The product of their gradients is -1. So 3 over 7 multiplied by the gradient of line L is equal to -1. That would be -7 over 3, which is E. Right? So G of -6 would be 7 by -6 minus 3 over 5. That is 7. 6 is a -42 minus 3 over 5 is -45 over 5, which is -9, which is E. Right? This one here, which of the following best describes? I believe it was x plus 3. This is a repeated question. Y, 5 is 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So yes, y is equals to x plus 3. The range of this value, this is a repeated question. The only one we got was x is -8, and that was only D had -8 in it. Right, that's the end of May, June 2023. Let's look at January 2023. Now, you all seeing that the questions are starting to repeat, right? So I don't have to, do that much work writing the point of the linear function crossing the horizontal, not your vertical, your horizontal axis would be your x-intercept. Okay, the relation that best describes the mapping, is this 1 to 1? No. This is 1 to many. Right? One of these going, the arrow, there's many arrows to these. So this is 1 to many. This one here, y'all, we're looking at the arrows. Right? Many of them are going to 1. So this is many to 1, not 1 to many. Right? Many of the arrows going to one item here, so that's why it's many to 1. 47, this is 3 by negative 6 minus 2 over 5. That is negative 18. Negative 2 over 5 is negative 20 over 5, which is negative 4. So A is the answer. This one here, the maximum point, that's the turning point here. X is 2, Y is 4. 2, 4, the values of X at which the point intersects. So if it intersects, that means the y-axis, that's y is equals to 0. So it intersects the y-axis at this point here. So that's x is 0 and y is, hold on, that's this point here and this point here. X is 0, y is 0, and x is 4, y is 0. So the values would be 0 and 4. Which of the following represents the equation of a straight line? Anything with squared would be incorrect. Anything with multiplying the two unknowns is incorrect. So the answer is C. Right? Which of the following sets is represented by function x squared plus 2, where x is 0, 1, 2, 3. So when x is 0, y is 3. When x is 1, y is 4. When x is 2, 2 to the 4, 4 plus 3 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're looking for 2, 7. So, right, when x was 1, y was 4. So the only answer that has 0, 3, 1, 4, 2, 7 is, for number 51 is D. Parallel lines, we did a question like this. Well, kind of. 2x. Parallel lines have the same gradient, right? So you need to find the gradient of this line and you'll be good. Make x positive. So you have 5y is equals to 2x minus 8. Y is 2x minus 8 over 5. So that's 2 over 5. X minus 8 over 5. So the answer is C, 2 over 5. And that's the end of January 2023. Let's look at May, June 2022. Horizontal, not vertical. That's your x-intercept. Your y-intercept, that's C is 5 and the gradient is 4. So y is equals to 4x plus 5. This one here, linear equation is this. Turning point here, x is 2, y is minus 4. No, x is 2, y is 4. 2, 4, A. Oh, the lines are parallel, meaning they have same gradient. So if you find the gradient of this line, you'll know the gradient of that line. So I have 3x minus 7y minus 9 is equals to 0. So I have 3x minus 9 is equals to 7y. So y would be, if I carry this across, it would be 3 over 7 minus 9 over 7. Right, so the gradient is 3 over 7. This one here, g of minus 6, that's 7 by minus 6 minus 3 over 5. 7 sixes are 42 minus 3 is minus 45. Divided by 5 is negative 9. So the answer is E. This one here is a repeated question. Negative 8 was part of the answers. This one here, which of the following lines is perpendicular, meaning their gradients are, when you multiply them, you're going to get the opposite. It will not be this because the gradient of this is 2 and 2 by 2 is 4. It could be this one. Let's see. Y is equals to 4x plus 10. And 4y is equals to x plus 1. Carry this across. Y is equals to 1 over 4x plus 1. Right? So if you look at the gradient of this line is 4 and you look at the gradient of this line, it is, hold on, which one am I looking at? 4x. Is this one, and this one is negative here. So this would be, this one is negative. 4 and the gradient of this one is a quarter. Negative 4 by a quarter is negative 1. So the answer would be C. That's the end of June 2022. Let's look at January 2022. Let's go with number 45. Which of the following is a linear function? We want y. Anything with x squared would be incorrect. So this and this is definitely not. If you're multiplying the two on x and y together, that is not. So it has to be C. The set of ordered pairs below represents a function 2, 7, negative 4, 6, 10, 4. Which of the following points, when added to a set, would form the relation that is not a function? So, we do not want something that is being repeated, right? Because if we know which of the following points, when added to the set, would form a relation that is not a function, and we need to know what a function is. So, if we look at the definition of a function is a special type of mathematical relationship where the input has exactly one output. Input is your x values, output is your y values. So we only, if you see a value being repeated, a y value being repeated, then we know that will not be the case. It will not be a function. So we have where each input has exactly one output. So each input. So we want one x value and one y value. So if I was to put 2, 8, I would see that
This is why they want a many, miss.
So we only want one x value. So I had the x values is 2, negative 4, 10. I don't want any of these numbers to be repeated. The only one that has is if it has 2, negative 4, and 10 as their x value, this will not make it a function, would be A. Because if I have 2, 8, then this does not become, this becomes a many of my arrows going to, because many, which is 2 and 2 going to 7 and 1 going to 8. So that is why the answer would be 2, 8. Alright, so let's look at number 47. Item 47 refers to the following diagram. The diagram, right, this one was a next repeated question. Y is more than x. Y is more than x. Y is not more than x, so no. Right? Y is a multiple of x. So if we look at multiples of x, when we multiply these values by integers, we have to get these values. That is not the case. Hold on. Yeah. X is a factor of y. X is, if we look at factors of, nope. X are not factors of y, because if we look at 2, 3, and 4, factors of 2 would be 1 and 2. Factors of 3 is 1 and 3. Factors of 4 is 1, 2, and 4. X is a multiple of y. Yes, because if I take y and multiply it by 2 by 4, I'm going to get 8. 3 by 3, I'm getting 9. 4 by 2, I'm getting 8. 2 by 5, I'm getting 10. So the answer is D. X is a multiple of y. What is the gradient of the straight line? So you want y is equals to mx plus c. So you carry across that 2, you're going to get divided by 2. So negative 3 over 2 is the answer. That's a repeated question, by the way. Right, number 49. This is a repeated question. It was 3 by negative 6 is negative 18 minus 2. Negative 18 minus 2 is minus 20. Minus 20 over 5 is negative 4. This one was a it's not, because we're squaring. Usually would say x cubed, right? So pay attention, right? Negative 2 squared, you're going to get 4. You're never going to get negative 4. So anything with negative 4 would be incorrect, right? We all know that positive numbers, squared numbers are only positive. So negative 2 squared will be negative 2 by negative 2 is 4. Negative 1 squared, negative 1 by negative 1 is negative 1. 1 by 1 is 1. 2 by 2 is 4. So the answer is A. Right? 51. When they say parallel lines, that means that the gradients are equal. So you're going to have 2x minus 5y minus 8 is equal to 0. Carry this across. 2x minus 8 is equal to positive 5y. Carry this across. So get, I always want my y to be positive, right? That will be all of this divided by 2. So you'll get 2 over 5 would be your answer. The values of x at the so we did this already. X was 0 and x was 4. Right? And that's the end of January 2023. Let's look at May, June 2021. Horizontal axis, not vertical. So horizontal is your x, so is your x-intercept. The equation applying when the gradient is 4 and the y-intercept is 5. Y is equal to 4x plus 5. Repeated question, this is a linear function. This one here, this point here, x is 2, y is 4. So 2, 4. This one here, what is the gradient of line L? They have parallel gradients. So you have 3x minus 9 is equals to positive 7y. I carried it across already, right? So you're going to carry this across and you'll divide by 7. So it'll be 3 over 7, which is C. This one here is a repeated question. 7, 3, hold on. No, it's not. 7 6s are negative 42. So it'll be negative 42 minus 3 all over 5, which is negative 45 over 5, which is negative 9. A is the answer. This one here, which of the following? This is a repeated question. Y is x plus 3. I was adding 3. Alright, so this is the answer. This is x cubed. This was negative 8. Yeah, negative 8 was part of the answer. The rest of them didn't. So that was May, June 2021. Let's look at January 2021. Item 45. Which of the arrows best describes the relationship between x and y? Y is less than x. That is incorrect. Y is a factor of x. So factors of x, y is a factor of x. If you look at factors of x, no. If they said x was factors of y, then I would say yes, but no. X is a factor of y, yes. X is a multiple of y. If you multiply if you multiply y by values, you're going to get x, no. So the answer here is C. Right? This one here, not a function. We cannot have our x values being repeated. So which one will be repeated? Negative 2, 8. If we have negative 2 twice, that makes it not a function. Right? This one here, this is the repeated question. 3 by negative 6 is negative 18, negative 2. Negative 18 minus 2 is minus 20 over 5, which is minus 4. Right? Given that y varies, y varies inversely to x, so y is equals to 1 over x. That's what that means, right? When y is 16, hold on, the inverse sign turns to equal. You multiply k by whatever it is inversely y is inversely, given that y varies inversely as x, so y is proportional to 1 over x, so y is equals to k by 1 over x, which is k over x, and they said y is equals to 16, x is equals to half. So that's 16 is equal to k over half. That's 16 is equals to k multiplied by 2 over 1. So that's 2k is equals to 16, so k would be equal to 8. So this tells me that y is 8 over x. And that's the answer for this one. Right? Which of the following is the equation of a straight line? Anything that has multiplying or x squared would be incorrect. So the answer here is C. Right? What is the x value of the point? What is the x value of the point of the intersection for the system represented by the function? What is the x value of the point of where these where would these two intersect each other? Right? This question, points of intersection is when they are both equal. So you want to know when f of x is equal to g of x, the point at which they are equal. So what is f of x? 3 is equals to 5 over 2x plus 1. Make x a subject, carry this across. That's 3 minus 1 is equals to 5 over 2x. 3 minus 1 is 4. So let's just put 5 over 2x is equals to 4. Right? Carry this across, so turn to divide. So x is equals to 4 divided by 5 over 2. So 4 multiplied by 2 over 5. 4 2s are 8. 8 divided by 5. 5 and, hold on, did I do something wrong? 5 over 2. Alright, if I carry it across, we'll turn to divide by 5 over 2, which 4 2s are 8, 8 over 5. Three minus 1 is 2. Why did I add 3? There's supposed to be 2 here. Right? So 2 2s are 4 over 5. 5 into 5, 5 into 4 is 0. Mean that 5 into 40 is 8. So the answer is 0.8. So you could put 0.8. What you could have done is put these values into this equation and see which one is equal to 3. So you could have said 5 over 2 by 0.8 plus 1. Am I getting 3? Yes. So you know that is the answer. Right? 51. Again, parallel lines have the same gradient. So we have 2x minus 5y minus 8 is equals to 0. So we will have 2x minus 8 is equals to 5y. Carry this across, you'll get 2 over 5. C is the answer. This one here, we did this one already. When x was 0, y was 3. When x was 1, when x was 1, yes, y was 4, because 1 plus 3 is 4. So it will not be this one, and it will not be this one. When x was 2, 2 2s are 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So you're going to get 2, 7. Cannot be B. So the answer is D. That is the end of January 2021. Let's look at January 2020. This is a many to one. Many arrows going to one arrow, to one value there. Right? This one, x is a factor of y. If you look at your x values, it would be factors of y. Right? Because if we go at factors of 8, you'll get 1 and 8, 2 and 4. We have 2 and 4. Factors of 9 would be 1, 3 and 9. Factors of 10 is 1, 10, 2, 5. So you have 2 there. So you know that it will be factors, x is factors of y. This one here, I explained it because there's no equal to. You have your 0. You have a unshaded circle, and because this was equal to 4, you shaded. So it would be D. This one here, repeated question, x is 2, y is 4. This one here, it intersects here, x is 0 and x is 4 when y is 0. equation of a straight line, y is equals to mx plus c. This would be this. We did this already, like just a minute ago. So you would substitute these values into this. So 0 squared plus 3 is 3. 1 squared plus 3 is 1 plus 3 is 4. 2 squared, 2 2s are 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So you know this is the answer here. Again, we have to make y the subject. So we have 2x minus 5y minus 8. Carry this across. You'll get 2. This is incorrect, by the way. Yeah? This is not your answer. Negative 5 over 2 is not your answer. You're looking for the gradient, which is the number in front of x. So you'll get positive 5y is equals to 2x minus 8. If you carry this across, y is equals to 2 over 5x minus 8 over 5. Right? So the answer here is C, not A. Right, and that is the end of January 2020. This one, which of the following represents graphs of a function, it would be A. Right, this one here, negative 3 squared is 9. 9 2s are 18. 18 minus 1 is 17. This one here, straight line that cuts the y-axis at x is 0, y is negative 2. D. This one here, if your gradient is 4 and your y-intercept is 5, that is 4x plus 5. This one here, you will get only one that has negative, only one of them has negative 8, and that would be D. This one here, repeated question, x is 0 and x is 4, 0 and positive 4. The turning point or the maximum point would be x is 2, y is 4, so 2, 4. This one here, which lines are perpendicular, meaning when you take their gradients, so it will not be this because gradients are equal here, right? You could try, let's try C. Y is equals to minus 4x plus 10, so the gradient is negative 4. Then we have 4y is equals to x plus 1. You carry this across, y is equals to x plus 1 all over 4. So therefore, my gradient is a quarter. Right? So we have negative a quarter by a quarter. Am I getting negative 1? I am, so the answer is C. That is the end of June 2019. Let's look at January 2019. Y is less than x? No. Y is factors of x? Factors? No. You're looking at, factors of x, if you're looking at the factors of x, factors of 2 is 1 and 2, factors of 3 is 1 and 3, factors of 4 is 1, 2, 4, so it will not be this one. X is a factor of y, yes, that is indeed correct. So C is the answer. This one here, I taught you guys this because it does not have an equal to. You have a circle line that is not shaded, and this one that one is shaded, so D is the answer. This one here, you want a straight line, is a function, that's E. This one here, whichever the following point lies on y. Okay, so you're substituting these values and you have to get. So when x is equals to 2, am I getting y is equals to 3? So 2 2s are 4, 4 minus 3 is 1? No. 2 by negative 2 is negative 4 minus 3 is 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 7. No. 4 2s are 8, 8 minus 3 is 5, so no. When x is 0, so 2 by 0 is 0, 0 minus 3 is negative 3, so the answer is D. This one here, is that 2x or 3x? We'll try both of them because I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming it's 2x, but it could be wrong. F of x is 2x squared minus 1, so it will be 2 by minus 3 squared, that's 2 by 3 3s are 9, that's 2 9s are 18, 18 minus 1 is 17, so the answer is C. This one here, the turning point is right here. X is 2, y is 4, so 2, 4. This one here is 0, 4. So that's this. This one here, we did already. We said it was 0, 3, then 1, 4. So this one here and this one here, and then the next one was 2, 7, I believe. 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, so the answer is E. Right, and that's the end of January 2019. Let's look at May, June. Which of the following that describes a function? If you have many going on to a value, you know that is not a function, right? So we will say the answer is D. Everybody good so far? This is the equation. Y-intercept is 5, gradient is 4, that is C. This one here, this is not a shaded line and it is going back. You know that X is less than 1. X is the one that looks like an L is less than, so it'll be E. Right? If it was equal to, then you would have, if this was shaded, it would be have an equal to. The gradient of AB, this is 2, 1, and this is 6, 3. The gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is xy, xy, so that is 3 minus 1 over 6 minus 2. That is 3 minus 1 is 2 over 4, which is a half, so the answer is D. Right, this one here is a repeated question. 2 by 6 is 18. 18 minus 1 is 17. Your maximum point as a turning point is x is 2, y is 4. This one here, the gradient of line is y is, this is a negative, so it'll be negative 3 over 2. This one here, which of the following, this is a repeated question, you was adding 3 to x, so y is x plus 3. And that's the end of May, June 2018. Let's look at January 2018. This is a many to 1. This here would be D. This here your minimum, maximum point. Turning point as x is 2, y is 4. This one here, x is 0, x is 4. 0 and 4 here. This one here, the diagram, we're going 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 3 to 8. We can put this 0 plus 2 is 1, no. 0 plus 1 is 1, yes. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is no. Right, it has to work for all of them, right? If I multiply this by 2, would I get this? No. So the answer is C. You can check it out to see. 2 to the power 0 is 1, yes. 2 to the power 1 is 2. 2 to the power 2 is 4. 2 to the power 3 is 8, so it is C. Which of the following sets is represented by a function? Right, so we know it's 0, 3, then 1, 4, and then the next one was 2, 7, if we recall the answer. Right, and that's the end of January 2018. Let's do this one. Which one best describes a function? Remember, it only has to be a one-to-one. Right, so that would be this one here. This one here, it intersects the y-axis of x is equal to 0, y is negative 2. That's D. This one here does negative 18 minus 2 is negative 20. Negative 20 over 5 is minus 4. This one here, because there is, so anything with that equal sign would be incorrect. So we have negative 2 to 3, negative 2 to 3. Again, this has that equal sign, so it would be incorrect. So D is your answer through process of elimination. We did this question, x is 0, x is 0 and 4. This one, we know that we are taking f of x is equal to, why does that f of x and y? F of x and y is the same thing, so no. F of x is not equals to y. X is not f of x, which is y plus 3, so no. So this is the answer. F of x is equal to y. F of x is the same thing as y. So you take x and add it to 3. So D is your answer. That is the end of May, June 2027. Let's do January 2017, which we did. This one is 0. This one we have, hold on, no, both of them has that equal to, so it will be B this time. So you see why you have to look, make sure and read your question, right? Don't do like me and just jump. Both of them have that equal to sign, so you know that both of them will be shaded. This one here is 1 to 1, that's D. This one here, if the gradient is a third and your turning point is, your y-intercept is 2, that is a third. Y is equal to a third x plus 2, yeah. That is negative 3 squared. Negative 3 by negative 3 is 9. 9 2s are 18. 18 minus 1 is 17. This one here, you need to see which one works. So x is 2. 2 2s are 4. 4 minus 3 is 1, so no. 2 4s are 8. 8 minus 3 is 5, so no. 2 by 0 is 0. 0 minus 3 is minus 3, so the answer is C. Right? This is the domain. You only want positive numbers because you're squaring those values. So it will be 1 and 4 would be the answer. And that is the end of relations and functions and graph from 2025 to 2017. Multiple choice.